Ben Shephard has always been known for his easy smile, quick humor, and calm presence, the kind of person who makes everything feel steady, even when life is moving fast. For years, viewers have watched him laugh, joke, and glide through television moments as if nothing could ever truly shake him. But behind that familiar confidence is a man deeply devoted to his family, especially to his wife, Annie. What happened recently wasn't dramatic in the way headlines usually expect. There were no flashing lights or breaking alerts. Instead, it was quiet, personal, and powerful in a way that changed everything overnight. Ben didn't rush to share it. In fact, at first, he wasn't sure how to talk about it at all, because when Annie finally opened up to him about something she had been holding close, it wasn't just news, it was a reminder of how fragile, beautiful, and unexpectedly funny life can be when love is at the center of it. Those closest to Ben say the moment happened in the most ordinary setting. No cameras, no audience, just the two of them, sharing a calm space after a long day. Annie, always thoughtful and composed, had been carrying something on her heart, and when she finally spoke, it stopped Ben in his tracks. It wasn't fear that filled the room, it was reflection. Ben later admitted that for a brief second his mind raced ahead, imagining every possible outcome, like it always does when you care deeply about someone. But then Annie smiled, one of those smiles that only someone who truly knows you can give, and suddenly the tension melted away. There was warmth in her voice, a little humor too, because that's how Annie is. Even serious moments come with a gentle lightness, as if she's reminding the world not to forget how to breathe. What she shared wasn't about loss, it was about change. And change, as Ben discovered, doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it slips in quietly and rearranges everything while you're not looking. Ben listened, really listened, the kind of listening that isn't about replying, but about understanding. And as Annie spoke, he realized how much of their life together had been built on moments just like this. Honest conversations, shared laughter, and the ability to face uncertainty side by side. Later, Ben joked that his first reaction was a mix of surprise and disbelief, followed quickly by him asking far too many questions at once. Annie laughed, of course. She always laughs when Ben does that. It's become something of a pattern in their marriage. Ben overthinking, Annie gently grounding him. Friends say that after that conversation, Ben seemed different. Not sad, not worried, but more present, more aware, as if the world had quietly nudged him and said, "Pay attention, this matters." In the days that followed, Ben found himself appreciating small things more than usual. Morning coffee tasted better, silences felt comfortable instead of awkward. Even the usual teasing between him and Annie carried a deeper affection. There were moments of humor, too. Ben admitted that once the initial surprise wore off, he couldn't help but laugh at himself for how dramatic his inner monologue had been. Annie, ever practical, reminded him that life doesn't need a script, it just needs trust. What truly changed everything wasn't the announcement itself, but what it revealed about their relationship. After years together, they still choose honesty. They still choose kindness. They still choose to face whatever comes next as a team. Ben shared that the experience reminded him of why he fell in love with Annie in the first place. Her strength isn't loud. Her confidence doesn't demand attention. It simply exists, steady and reassuring, even when life takes an unexpected turn. There's something quietly romantic about that kind of love, the kind that doesn't need grand gestures to feel meaningful. It lives in shared glances, inside jokes, and the unspoken understanding that no matter what changes, some things remain solid. Ben also found humor in how quickly perspective can shift. One moment you're worried about schedules and work commitments. The next, you're reminded that the most important moments happen when no one else is watching. He described feeling grateful that Annie trusted him enough to share her truth, grateful that they've built a life where honesty feels safe, and grateful that love, even after years, can still surprise you. What fans noticed most when Ben finally spoke about it publicly wasn't sadness or fear, it was tenderness. His voice softened, his words slowed, and there was a warmth that couldn't be rehearsed. People often assume that long-term relationships lose their spark, but Ben's story quietly proves the opposite. Sometimes the spark just changes shape. It becomes steadier, deeper, and far more meaningful. Annie's news didn't break them, it brought them closer. It reminded Ben that life isn't about controlling every outcome, it's about showing up, listening, and choosing love even when the future feels uncertain. And yes, there were laughs along the way. Ben joked that Annie's timing couldn't have been more perfect, arriving just as he thought he had everything figured out. Annie, of course, raised an eyebrow and reminded him that he never truly has everything. That's their rhythm, humor balanced with honesty, love mixed with laughter. As Ben reflected on the experience, one thing became clear. Some moments don't change everything because they're dramatic. They change everything because they make you pause, and in that pause, you realize what truly matters. This wasn't a story about sadness. It was a story about connection, about how even after years together, two people can still surprise each other, still grow, and still choose to walk forward hand in hand. And perhaps that's why this moment resonated with so many people, because at its heart, it wasn't about fame or headlines. It was about love doing what it does best, quietly reshaping lives in ways we never expect. If this story moved you, made you smile, or reminded you of someone special in your own life, take a moment to show your support. Share it with someone who believes in love that grows stronger with time, and stay connected for more stories that celebrate the moments that truly matter. Because sometimes the biggest changes begin with a simple conversation and the courage to listen.